Holy fucking shit. What's up? Oh my goodness. I've been wanting to make a podcast for a long time, and I haven't. It's been months. And so much has happened, and life just goes by, and just the same way that in my journal, I stopped doing it frequently just because it felt like life itself was starting to roll like a tide, and I had to stop trying to have fun and really focus on what's going on. And lots of times I just don't feel like talking when I'm in a terrible place. Surprise, surprise. Which is strange, because when you're in a good place, you really don't feel the need to talk. And I guess with me, that's not 100% true all the time. This is gonna end up being like fucking hours. I can already feel it. There's so much to talk about and say. But I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm currently on the floor of my apartment, the same apartment that I swore that I would leave and that I hated, and in life. And now I am extremely grateful, extremely grateful for this beautiful, magnificent apartment that I have. There's just a trillion different avenues. I didn't even start this video with any intention of going into anything. As of right now, I am on 50 milligrams of Adderall, and I have ripped my bong a couple of times, so I'm pretty high, and I would say I'm pretty wired. This is the first time that I have taken my medication in 2 weeks, in a week. Was last? No, that was my birthday, which, by the way, I'm 25. I'm 25, and I've told you this is gonna be all over the place, so fucking hold on tight. That's the reason why, 25, birthdays are kind of, it's weird, and I'm not good at keeping track of that kind of stuff. Not my birthday, but like what happens within those years. So to me, the numbers just get fudged, and it doesn't really matter anyway. Like if you were to ask me what I did at 21, I don't know. I know stuff that I was doing around that time, but I don't fucking know what the hell was. I don't know if that was 21, 22, 23. Quien sabe? I have no fucking clue. So, what was I saying that? Well, I just turned 25, and truly it felt different. It really did. I guess it doesn't currently feel different, and I think that a big reason why that is because, and I think I might have said this in podcasts before, but the second I turned 24, I just felt 25. Like in my head, that's just the number that has just happened for the last year. Like 20. That's another big reason why. I guess that happens to me a lot, where I really don't know my age, and I be feeling like I'm different ages at different times, and so that's a big reason why I don't know what the hell happened what happened, because I don't know. To me, I was never 24. I wasn't 24. I've just been 25, the early trial, and this shit just started. It started. But, you know, this holiday season, because I've had to pivot, right? I was going to move, and plans have changed because of the fact that I got paid for my summer sales. I was done doing that, July 29th, and the paycheck came October 30th or 31st or something. And my paycheck read negative $286. After the deductions for housing and for the money that they gave me up front for the gasoline that I used to get across the country to get there and back home, and after the money that I had spent for my groceries, for gas out there, for gas for us to drive around, they said that I owed them money, which, see, this is one of those things, like, lots of big things have been happening, that I'm just like, damn, this would make for a really good podcast episode. Not even that it's a good episode, but it's just good for me to get the shit down, put it down out of my brain, vomit it all out onto a video that no one will ever see, and it can just stay there. And that is essentially a external hard drive that I'm plugging into the internet, so I don't have to remember this shit. Damn, that's another big reason why I feel like podcasts feel like a luxury, but they're also therapy for me, and so I should make more of a habit of doing these podcasts, simply because the reason why I've stopped doing them is because they started getting hours long. And I just know that the second I sit in front of a camera is gonna be hours, and I know ain't nobody watching, but it don't matter. Greg is watching this. Eventually, at some point in life, Gregory is watching this, and if Gregory ends up doing something with his life for real, then that means that other people are gonna end up watching this at some point. If you are watching this right now, and I have passed on, and I am dead for whatever reason, the first thing that comes to my mind is old age. But we know life. But if you're watching this and I'm gone, know that I made these videos to prove that I exist. That's the reason why I did this, is to bury deep some archive, this time capsule that was never addressed or marked, just buried deep within the recesses of the internet. And if real life Greg happens to shine bright enough to call attention to this Greg, then that means that people are watching, which, let's be honest, I do expect at some point, but who knows if YouTube's even a thing. Maybe I say YouTube and you go, what the fuck is YouTube? Bro, I'm just thinking this shit. That's crazy. I'm probably right as fuck too, huh? Give it enough time and I will be. I feel as if I am a third of the way done with my life. And I've never had the number 75 ever in my head. Lord knows, I've wanted to live to be old. I've wanted to live to die young. I've wanted to cap myself several times. Like, I've been all over the board. That's just kind of what I am. That's so funny. I can't remember what I was saying. That's all right. Thought comes back to me, matters. And it does, because it has. I was talking about being a third of the way done with my life. And yeah, I've never really thought about it. I've thought a lot about death, but not when it's gonna happen, unless I'm in the middle of a little suicidal, pointless, life doesn't matter little thing. that I tend to go through. But the day before I turned 25 and it started hitting, I don't know, it just felt different. It really was. It just feels like I locked it in, you know. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm committed. Like, as much as I may hate life at times, you know, and as much as I may drudge through it and not give my best effort and kick and moan and bitch along the way, I've done it for 25 years. I've done it now. I've done 25, bro. I've done it, you know. I mean, I can officially say that I've lived a life, you know. It wasn't a long one, but I have lived a life, you know. And I do like the direction that it seems to be going in. I'm scared tremendously because I have a vision of what my future should be, and I don't really feel like things are going in that. Well, I feel like things are going in that direction, but they're just not going there fast enough or with enough force that it will have an impact through the longevity of my life. I kind of view it as a rocket, you know. I feel like at this age, you're supposed to blast off as hard as you fucking can and shoot for the stars, and wherever you end up is indicative of, I guess, the effort that you put in. But it will definitely get slower. The rocket won't get any faster, you know. Here I am speaking like I know things I don't know, you know. And usually whenever I say things or make very specific statements, all I'm doing is proving myself absolutely wrong in the future for some reason. It's a big reason why I try not to make judgments on shit, because I know me now is not me in another 25. Can you imagine? I am, and I've said this before on the arc of Zuko. I started out angry and bitter and resentful and frustrated and hurt, and slowly and fucking slowly, but there has to be a word for that, because this is something that I talk about a lot. It's a concept that I see clearly, but it's hard for me to not explain, but I feel like there are words that properly fit the description. I just have to find them. But for me, give me a second, let the thought come back. It's always whenever I get self-conscious and I realize that there's people watching me, that's always when I lose it. Whenever I'm rapping, whenever anything ever, it's the second that I stop being me and I start staring at myself that I short circuit and cut the fuck out on what the hell I was gonna say. Okay. I got it back. So with me, I really like to take steps forward really slowly but extremely deliberately, because I do not want to, I guess it is make the wrong step, which is a problem, because that's why I'm moving too slow, is because I'm too scared to fuck up. But I guess that's in a different sense. That's not really what I'm trying to explain right now. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that when I am learning things, or when I am trying to progress or grow, I want to make sure that I do it with quality. It needs to be quality growth, because if it's not, it won't be able to support any further progression or growth that I'm trying to achieve, you know. I just see it so clearly in my head. It's like you build a solid foundation, and you slowly it's a snail's race, but you are doing everything with quality. As I progress as a person, I don't feel like, well, you can never know, but in the same sense that people can learn a martial art, and learn how to do it improperly from the beginning and have to unlearn it all the way later on when it's already ingrained within them. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I fucking feel like I did that with Gregory for the first. When did I first smoke? I was 18. I was probably 18. So for the first 18 years, that's how I went about things. Is just putting down flimsy ass board after flimsy ass board after flimsy ass board just to get me to the next fucking spot, and I don't care what the hell happens behind me. And I smoke. I take psychedelics. I get introspective. I'm willing to face myself and try to actually fix problems that are so glaring. And now I have no desire to keep refixing shitty, dumb things. A power that I have is a good eye for quality. And that's the truth. That I really think that is something that I have been able to realize within myself, along with being able to articulate myself, because obviously I speak English well, and I'm able to get my points across the way that I want to. That's a superpower to me, and it's something that I am, progressively working on and improving. And it's one of those things that other people go, oh, he's so good at this, but they don't see that I'm actually doing stuff to, improve this, get it better, and damn, what was the other thing? Don't matter. Again, to the ether. And when it comes back, it will be meant for me. What should I go back to? 25, 50, 75. I'm a third done, is the way I view it. I feel as if, and this is something, again, it's like all this hit me the day before I turned 25. It's like all these realizations, like, damn, I'm like almost, I'm a good chunk through life, like really, really though, like I can't call myself a kid no more. That's why 25 is real to me, because I am a adult. I'm a young adult. Like I really am now. I am, like, to me, 20 through 24, you are the 12th grader in the high school of adults, that of children. That's what that is I am the adult of the children, and now I am the children of adults. And that is just crazy. That's crazy. I don't even see being old. Like old, like old now is 50 to 75. That is old. Right now I am in my middle age. Well, no, middle age I guess would be technically set 50, whatever, but interesting. I did the formative shit, and now I'm in the place where I just feel like you gotta grind here. You gotta grind here in order to make 50 to 75 not hell, not shit, but that's not something I need to focus on right now. Well, while I'm trying to regain my thoughts, I'll kind of continue with updates that have happened. Okay, so I took a week off of work, and during that week I went off the rails, and all I did was watch porn and take Adderall like it was candy, and smoke and vape and drink alcohol. Terrible. It was I had an entire week off, and I got almost no sleep. I would say 3 or 4 of the 7 or 8 days that I didn't have work consecutively. I watched porn from whenever, 8 p.m., 10 p.m. to like 6 a.m. in the morning. Progressively getting more and more high, taking more and more Adderall, drinking more and more. I actually stopped with the drinking because I realized that that is a depressant, and so it was counteracting the way I was trying to feel with everything. And I think it was good too because it's just one less fucking drug in my body. But anyway, it was hell, and it was really, I actually got scared. Towards the end, the very last day, or not the very last day, but the very last time that I took all the Adderall, I'd progressively been feeling worse and worse right here. And it's something that I felt before smoking and stuff like that over the years, but I never knew what it was, and I've tried to Google and I could never find out what it was, but it wasn't like, I could never find anything that told me you need to be scared, you know. But with the no sleep compounded, and I had so much Adderall in my system. Now I wouldn't take this all at once, but again, over the course of the entire night, I would fucking take 80 milligrams, 90 milligrams, 100 milligrams. Again, this is spread over 10 hours, whatever, but still, it's like, fuck. And I think on that last day, I took like 60, 30, and then another 310 quickly in succession, because I just want to get it over with. Like, I didn't even want to be doing this no more. Like, I'm telling you, it felt bad. It felt like it was great the entire time you were high, and it felt amazing. And then the second that you started coming down, and it's been whatever 10 hours, and I still haven't busted one nut. And I'm just getting exhausted and tired and mentally tired, and like I can't even be sexual anymore because my head is just so fried, and it's awful. It is awful. It is terrible. But that particular day, I got like 2 hours of sleep after an all-nighter, and I woke back up and I was like, more. And I took 60, but instead of going slow like I usually do, I took 30 immediately, and then I took like the other 3 10s. I don't know, 30 minutes after, an hour after. Because again, I was just trying to make this quick, because every time I do this, it turns into an all-night fucking bonanza extravagant. Like, I was just trying to just get it out the way, just fucking do it so that we can be done with it and not have to do it all day. Something felt wrong. Like, my heart was, it's not even that it was going crazy, although yes, the whole week I kept feeling my heart, and I could feel it. There was plenty of anxiety, tons and tons of anxiety the entire week, like actual physical anxiety, not just mental for me, which is usually how it goes when I have anxiety. It's usually not the physical heart pounding, and I've had that before, and that's how I realized what this was. But when I had that before, it was like during my first breakup, you know, like that's when I really felt like physical body, like dun 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 dun, and I was like, yo, what the fuck can I do to make this go away? It was the same feeling, and I was like, oh shit. But this time, my right here, it hurt like a bitch. It felt like something was wrong. I was like, fuck, I did something's wrong. And I was trying to get rest, and I couldn't get rest. I made an appointment. I was so scared that I immediately called up my therapist, and because obviously nobody's gonna be able to like do anything for me, but I was like so mentally just, I can't even explain. I don't even like thinking about how it felt being in that place. But I was just like, yo, like I have so much that I just need to talk to somebody about. So I made an appointment with her. And long story short, I was so anxious that I couldn't leave my house. I got into my car and I waited for 5 minutes for everything to just calm down. And then I like slowly pulled back and started pulling out, and I felt immediately like I'm gonna die. Like I am going to wreck somewhere terribly because I was so anxious. And I like put the shit in. I felt like I was on the verge of a panic attack. That's what it was. And so I put it in the park. I drove back into the stall. I texted my therapist, give me another hour. And in another hour, I was still so terrible that I couldn't even go. So I didn't even get to go. And I felt bad because that was my first time reaching out to my therapist in like a year. And it was like super short notice, like, yo, I need help. And she was totally down. When I pushed it back an hour, she was totally down. And then I was like, sorry, I can't go. And I haven't been able to go because she works Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. And I work Monday through Friday, 7 to 6. So anyway, I felt terrible, just terrible. I went to Walgreens to get try and just get anything. Like during the whole week, I had been taking things to like try and supplement all the terrible damage that I was doing to my body. And I also wasn't exercising. I went on like one run, and it was a run because I was like, yo, my heart's gonna explode. I need to fucking go do something. I need to run and exercise. Like, I think I exercised twice, but it was because I was like, yo, you feel terrible. You need your heart to calm the hell down. Let's go, pump some blood. So I went to Walgreens and I bought this stuff called Alpha Brain, which, if you know Joe Rogan, you've heard about it, which is of course how I heard about it, but it's just a bunch of nootropics. It's a bunch of good stuff for your brain that's supposed to help you focus and have mental clarity, help your memory and stuff like that. And I just figured that somehow was going to help me with all the mental brain fog that I was in from all the goddamn drugs. And I spent $30 on that for 30 pills. Shit's expensive. And I took it, and it's like pouring a shot glass on a fucking kitchen fire. Like there's no hope. But just on a side note, so that I can be done with the whole Alpha Brain thing, because I was gonna bring this up earlier. But I did keep taking it in like 5. I bought it that Saturday. I don't know. I shouldn't try to do this math, but 5 or so days later of like taking it, I went to work one day, and all of a sudden, I just understood what was going on. I don't know. I can't remember if I've explained like how confusing the instructions are that I get from my boss. It's not the job. The job is like we're paving dirt. We're making shit flat. It is not the job. It is just the way that he teaches, and he's learning how to teach in a different way. So I appreciate him for that. But it is hard for me to understand the most basic of instructions from him, which really frustrates the shit out of me, because then he gets irritated and upset when I don't do things correctly, and then like I get clarification, and it's just like such lost in translation. He likes to use technical construction terms because he's been doing it for 10 years, and I don't know any of this shit. Doesn't matter. 5 or so days later, I went in and I understood. I fucking got it. Like, I knew what we were doing the entire day, and I was able to I was not anxious because I knew where I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to be doing, where I could take a break or look at my phone or do whatever, and where I should be working and paid. Like, I just got it. It clicked, and I was like, holy fuck. Like, it was magical. I don't know why. And I also wasn't really working with my boss that day, but he blew up in the morning over something, and I was just like, all right, just try to figure out what the hell this dude wants, which is usually how I do it, but I'm always upset that he blows up about it, and this time I was just like, brush that shit off immediately, like la 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 la. And then when he's done yelling, get the clarification that you need. And I did it, and it actually made sense. Like I understood. So it was great. And believe it or not, my memory and my focus has actually been tremendously improved. I know that this is not a good showing, but this is my first time taking Adderall in well over a week, and smoking with it and stuff. So compared to how I normally am, if you've ever seen any of these other videos, like I think it's a big improvement in when I am just smoking, and like the last couple days that when I have been smoking, and I've been taking the Alpha Brain in the morning, I've just been like I can just remember things. It's great. It's like really counteracting the negative side effects of weed, which for me are, trailing off or losing your focus or losing your train of thought. A big one for me that I hate, that this happens all the time, is my short-term memory. Shit. Absolute shit. I walk into rooms all the time and I go, what the fuck did I just come in here for? I came in here for a reason. My apartment is like 600 square feet. It takes me like 10 paces to make it from one room to the other end of my fucking house. So it's not like I'm running through a maze, and I will walk into my bedroom and I'll go, what the fuck was this for? And the reason for that, I know this about myself, I've learned through all this, is that I'm a very extremely visual person. So if I don't see the thing I went in there to look for, I will forget what the fuck it was. So if the thing I'm looking for is in a dresser or in a drawer or in a container or whatever, if it's in something and I can't physically see it, it might as well not exist. I'm like, what the fuck? But that has gotten a lot better. Like, it has been significantly improved the last bit that I've been taking Alpha Male. It's been 2 weeks now, because it says take 2 every day, and I have 1 pill left. Because I think I took 1 pill the first day or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I have 1 left, and I'm gonna go buy some more, even though it's fucking ridiculously expensive, and it's upsetting that it is that expensive. But damn, it's helping me, and I'm like able to finish my sentences properly. Again, don't take this as my example, because this is not normal. This isn't me normally, or recently anyway. But yeah, it has helped a lot, and I have just enjoyed it. So there's that little plug for Alpha Brain, and a little thing I did want to talk about that I've been doing that I'm gonna continue to do. But like I was saying, back to my story, the Alpha Brain didn't work. Just because I was so far gone. I'm telling you, like candy. I ate that shit like candy. It's crazy. It was fucking crazy. But I was still feeling terrible, and my gut, like right here, it felt like again something was wrong. Like I broke something happened. I don't know, but I kept doing research, and by the end of the night, I came to the conclusion that I had an ulcer on my... What the fuck is this? Your pancreas? Is it the pancreas? 1 second. Let me look at the medicine. IDK, that shit. Both of those say that I have like a liquid one that's supposed to help ulcer. Doesn't help the ulcer, it helps something else. What the fuck is this? What is under your heart? Stomach is a pancreas. I can't remember. I feel like it would ring a bell if I heard it. But anyway, this thing had an ulcer in it, which means that the lining on the inside of my... What the fuck is... I'm getting annoyed. I don't know what the hell this is. On whatever this is getting stripped away. I think by acids or something like that. I don't know. But I Google what strips the lining of your... Is it? No, your intestine is your fucking... Your colon? No, is the colon the fucking... No, it's the intestine. Shows how much I paid attention during health. Anyway, I Googled what would give you an ulcer here in this thing, whatever it is. Adderall. Weed. I think alcohol. Vaping. The four fucking things that I had been doing non-stop, literally, again, 8 p.m. to fucking 6 a.m. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So it makes a lot of sense why it was starting to hurt and why it was getting worse and worse. It got to the point where it just hurt too much and I couldn't smoke, which to me is like, when I can't smoke, that's like, all right, we got to fix this issue. Whatever the fuck this issue is, we got to fix it. Because with me, if I'm in the middle of smoking, if I'm not on a smoke break, wow, that's what that was. It was a smoke break. That's crazy. That's beautiful. That makes me feel like I can do it again without needing any pressure to have to, stop, because it was a really nice break. 3 months, 2 months. But anyway, whoops, forgot it again. So anyway, the ulcer was there because of all the shit that I was taking. And oh yeah, that's right, I was saying when I smoke, and something impedes my ability to smoke, it's usually a sore throat from all of the smoking. It becomes an issue because I can't stop smoking. I'm not gonna stop. I want to be high, especially while I'm going through whatever it is, a sore throat or whatever. I just want to chill. And so I often exacerbate the problem, and usually prolong it and make it worse, because I have to smoke. I gotta smoke, because I'm addicted, because I gotta do what the fuck I gotta do, baby. And I realized the method of smoking is a big factor. That's something I realized after this whole thing, because I stopped using the bong because I'm like, oh, this much smoke versus using a one hitter, this much smoke makes sense. So I'm still getting my buzz, but I'm not getting, air quotes, violently high, because I don't get violently high, because I can't get violent. Well, you should watch my words, watch your words, my child. I definitely can't get violently high, but it's very hard for me to get violently high, and it usually doesn't happen from a bong. But yeah, I realized that a different method of smoking was definitely gonna help. But I also spent, I think, like 8 or 10 minutes crouched over in front of a medicine aisle in Walgreens, Googling and comparing medicines for, I guess, heartburn. That's not the thing I was Googling. When I was like doing Googling, they were using different words for all this kind of crap. So that's why I'm kind of confused. And I'm confused why that would help heartburn, because it's not my heart that's burning. It literally says that medication is specifically to help an ulcer in whatever this thing is, but it doesn't say the heart. So I think that's really, I should learn more. I'm gonna have to. Oh, that's crazy. that's something else I learned through that, is like that to me was like my first like health scare. Like I was like, yo, like, because I'm a healthy person. I'm a healthy person in so much that I exercise. That's what I mean. I'm a healthy person in that way. I'm a healthy person, healthy. My diet is shit, and I smoke and stuff like that, so that is not healthy. But I should not be having any sort of cardio issues, heart issues, nothing like that. That should not be a thing for me. And so it really did scare me. It scared me, and I was like, yo, like, imagine if you like started something just like that, bro, just because you're fucking around, and we like to fucking get close to the fire, and we burned ourselves like we always fucking do, and now we got to deal with this for the rest of our life. Like, it's a scare. That's scary, you know. I don't want that to happen to me, especially with like this beautifully God-gifted body that I have that has the ability to fucking burn calories like crazy and eat whatever the fuck I want and still look like this. And so yeah, after that happened, obviously I was done with that. I was like, no more, no mas. And I made plans with a friend to pick them up and just hold them for me, because I just didn't want them in my house. But we have made the mistake of flushing our medication before, and we have suffered a month without it, and we have learned, you know. I'm always learning. Look at me, I'm so fucking cool. Anyway, so I gave it to my friend, and then I had my friend drop it off at my parents, because my friend lives way closer to my parents than I do. And yep, they've had it for the last week, and for the last week I haven't taken any Adderall, and I have been just smoking. And let me tell you something. Holy shit. The difference, okay, that I experience with just smoking weed for this last week compared to taking Adderall and smoking weed like I've been doing for the last since May to June, July to August to September, October, November. The last 6 months I've been, and it has not, to clarify, it has not been fucking eating them like candy. That was specifically for 1 week that happened. Before that, I was taking what I consider a lot, but it never went over 60 milligrams a day, and I was working a ton. I was working like 11-hour days, running around knocking on people's door trying to convince them to buy shit. So it was a different experience, but still, smoking and taking Adderall compared to just smoking last week. And I'm sure that it's hard to quantify what's what, but I am sure that a lot of it has been my growth. The last 6 months doing shit and going through the really hard, you know, trials of door-to-door sales, like, I've learned a lot, and along the way I was able to develop gratitude. More like be introduced to it, honestly. That's all it really took. Was Donovan just telling me, yo, practice gratitude for 5 minutes tomorrow, please just do it. And I was like, fine, fuck. And I did it, and I was like, this is the easiest thing in the goddamn world. This is so easy, and I'm so happy right now, like, so crazy. So that it's a huge tool that I've had. But man, this last week I have been so grateful. I am overwhelmed with how blessed that I am. How much God loves me, how much He cares about me. Like, I'm blessed. I'm just blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm blessed. I have an amazing story. I really think that, like I said, my life is going the way I want it to, but it's just not going at the pace that Greg wants it to. It's going at the pace that it has to. And so I see that, I do see my future. I see that I'm in a flip book right now, that this story is done and I'm just in it. I'm just doing, I just be, that's all that's happening. And like, how grateful I am that I see God everywhere, that I truly, truly am one with the Lord, with the Spirit. I'm getting more okay with personifying God. Honestly, I feel like God is everything. So if I want to personify him and that helps me, then I can do that. And when I want him to be the universe, I can do that. And I don't think there's any wrong way to view God, because he is that which is. And so there is no misdescribing. There's no improper way to describe the elephant. This is what I'm trying to say. Because misdescribe is not a word. But yeah, there's no wrong way to be in touch with God. And whichever way helps you at that very current moment, then by all means, get in touch with him, my boy. And so lately, I've been able to personify him. A huge reason why is, I kind of love this, because I oftentimes think, like, things don't just happen and change for me. Like I said, they go slow, they go steady, they go deliberate. They're on purpose. It's very rare that I just happen upon something that changes me on a dime like that. But in this rare instance, it happened, I'd say, like, maybe probably a week or two ago, when I was like just getting back to like a little stable from taking all the Adderall, and I'm just smoking, and I think it was like 4 days into that. I was cleaning the house, and I just turned on a podcast, just to listen to some shit, and it was the 85 South show. If you don't know the 85 South show, that's Chico Bean, and that's DC Young Fly, and that's Carlos Miller. Anyway, they're a show, and they used to be on Wild 'N Out, and they became really good friends, and so they stuck together and they started doing their own podcast and their own touring show. Jesus, because they're funny. And so they were talking with Charlemagne the God and DJ Envy on The Breakfast Club. And I had learned maybe like a week or two prior that DC Young Fly's baby mama, or his girlfriend or his wife, I'm sorry, I don't know, recently passed away because of some complication that happened with a plastic surgery procedure, I believe. And that's really fucking hard, and I was obviously extremely empathetic, and me on Just Weed, in touch, baby, extremely empathetic. But I was just listening, I was really just thinking about it, because I think when I heard about it, it really hit me hard the first time. I was like, damn, that sucks. Like, that would be terrible to have that happen to you. But then now watching this interview, it starts out light and funny, and before it gets serious, I remember, I'm like, shit, like, DC lost his wife, his girl, his whatever. And they were a really good couple. Like, they were really, they loved each other. They did love each other. This wasn't just a baby mama thing, because they have a daughter, and I think their daughter's 3 or something like that. And that's just so terrible. But yeah, his I'm gonna call her girlfriend, we'll split the difference. His girlfriend died, and if you know DC Young Fly, he's a super, super charismatic hella funny. Think Chris Tucker, but more X-rated. He's just awesome. He's a super fun-loving guy, and the dude had great energy the whole interview. And I was like, damn, like this dude's probably going through a lot. And then, I think Charlamagne brought it up, and they started talking about it. And, it's just so hard for me to just grasp the fact that he's in that situation. Like, the dude's making lots of money. He's like late 20s, early 30s, and he's touring all the time and going places. And he had a loving girlfriend at home, and he has a daughter that he absolutely loves, and they're like they were a great family. And because of life, the family's broken, and he has to deal with just straight tragedy. I mean, it's not even acknowledging what his daughter's going through. Like, that is just terrible. That's just awful. But listening to DC's response, he was so invigorated. He was so just filled with life and positivity, and it wasn't, you could see he was hurting, obviously. It's not like he wasn't going through anything, is what I'm trying to say. But he was still making the choice to be positive and to be okay. And he just kept praising God. He kept praising God. And like I said, if you know DC Young Fly, then you can probably imagine how DC Young Fly would praise God. But again, it's like Chris Tucker just thinks somebody really charismatic. And I think the interview was like 48 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that long. Could have been, I don't know, but that's what it felt like. And I was just so inspired by his faith. I just saw, because he's from the South, and so he was raised, I don't know if he's Baptist or whatever, but he was raised Christian, and so he's one of them people that glory to God, God everything. It's because of God, God this, God that, and DC Young Fly himself, personally, from what I have seen in like his artwork, his videos, his stand-up routine, all that kind of stuff, it's not something that he's not a Bible-toting dude at all. Like I said, bro's like pretty X-rated for the most part. But when he was asked how he's getting through this, he did not hesitate to give it all to God, every bit of it. And normally I'm really appalled by stuff like that. I just hate when people take their own accomplishments because they really did things, and they go, but if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It's him first. Give him the praise. He did it. I'm like, see, I'm already triggered. That frustrates me. But this time it was just different, and this time I could just feel the love that DC felt from God. And it was just beautiful. It was beautiful, and it really inspired me to just soften my heart. And because it looked powerful. It looked really, really powerful, is what it looked like. And I've felt that type of power from God, but again, I don't like the fucking red tape of it all that is religion, and what's correct and what's not, and the extra steps of going to church and proving this and proving that and reading this, and oh God, why can't I just be with God? Why can't I just be with God? And that's ultimately how I just felt after listening to that. It's like I was just like, damn, like I had already been feeling so grateful, you know. I'd already been feeling so grateful. I've already been slowly trying to like have a relationship with God. I've slowly been trying to do it. And like I said, when I do things, I do them proper. And so it has been going well, and it's been going slow. And I've been, you know, slowly accepting him into my life first as the universe, because that's how I can best relate to him. And it's still, to my core, I feel like that's the best way for me to be one with God, is to get to the flow of life. It's a very, very Buddhist Eastern philosophy way of thinking, and it doesn't just make sense. It's like, what's that image of did Michelangelo draw of the dude with the, and he has his legs open, and it's drawn like this in a perfect circle all the way around. It's like I see that. And that was all I really think that was all thanks to LSD. I'm telling you, LSD showed me. It showed me. Like, I watched the walls and the barriers of my, damn, it really was my ego. It's, you know, because my ego is compromised of millions of things, but I saw everything really just melt before my eyes, as if I were in a maze, and the maze had walls that were, good number, 50 feet high, something that, yeah, 50 feet high, pretty well built up. And like I said, it's a maze, you know, so it's hard to get through. And all the LSD did was look at each of those bricks, and what it did is it took every individual brick, and through the process of simplifying your thoughts and expanding your consciousness, I was able to slowly take all of those bricks and push them into one. I'm trying to think of a better analogy. It's like, I'm trying to think, like, the image I get in my head is like a phone game, you know, where you like shoot a ball, and, you know, it sticks to other balls, and then you shoot another one, and it clumps, and it makes it an even bigger ball. That's essentially what LSD, I want to say, does, but I don't know for everybody what it does for me, because I've taken it twice and did the same thing. It will slowly take all of these definitions and groupings, and I'm getting the image of SpongeBob and Patrick pulling out their candy bar bag carrying bags to the point where they can't make the sale because there's too many bags inside of bags inside of bags to get to the goddamn chocolate. And what LSD does is it takes all of these individual bags, and it ties them all together, because everything is one. Quite literally, I am not a me, the air is not an air, nothing is anything. Everything is the moment. We are one. Nobody see this. Again, this is something that LSD showed me. I see it with my eyes, that we are the moment, and the moment is God. That's what it is. That's why you can't change it. That's why you can't will it into a different existence. It is predetermined. It's done. God has already decided, and so it is on you to be God and be okay. That's all that you're tasked with. Sounds like the easiest task in the world is to surrender, but it inevitably is the most difficult thing in the world. And yeah, taking LSD, having all of those millions, billions of definitions and groupings, and definition is the best way I can put it, because I have slowly defined by carving out what is and what is not Gregory, to create an image of what Gregory thinks he is. But the truth is that I am not. It's going to be hard to follow. I am not what I think I am. I am God. I am not an individual. I am this moment. Just the same way that you are this moment. We think that we're autonomous and that we're separate and that damn, that's not, I guess that sounds fucked up. I don't really want to go down this rabbit hole because this is where shit gets gray, and this is where, you know, shit gets slippery, especially for me who has, you know, gone through nihilism and all that kind of stuff. But damn, I can't remember what I was gonna say. But I was talking about definitions, and essentially you grow to create through 25 years worth of experience. I think I took LSD when I was like 19 or 20 for the first time. So 20 years of experience that you go through that slowly help you draw circles around everything, to the point where you know where everything goes, and you can categorize everything. You have an opinion on everything. You like or do not like everything. You have created a person. You have drawn a circle around yourself and said, this is me, which you kind of have to do to be sane, you know. There's no faulting you, because along with being spirits, we are humans, which means that there's no fault with any of the human aspects of the experience. It's on us to meld those two, and I think it's on us to create a healthy relationship between the two, because the two of us, the two of who we are, want different things. And that is where I think the conflict and disconnect comes within people, is because there is the God within them, and then there is the person who they have drawn a circle around within them. And so one of those is extremely limited and extremely scared of everything that is not within that circle, because it's threatened. And as humans, that within our actual DNA is to be threatened by things that we do not understand, so we can survive. And within the other part of us, the true part of us that we have all lost, because we have desperately clung on to the wheel of control that is our ego. But that connection that is us deep down, that is God, knows first off best. But then I don't even want to go there, because that sounds like it's superior. It's not even superior, but it knows. It knows. The best way I could put it is that it understands. We are in a movie. We're in a movie. We're in a movie. We're in a movie. That's all this is just watching. That's the only task, is watching. And believe it or not, everybody thinks that if you just watch, that nothing's gonna happen, no one's gonna do anything. But the truth is that you will if you just watch. Gregory will take care of the situation. He's already doing it. He's been doing it. He's done it for 25 years. And the only time that shit gets fucked up is when I try to control the situation. When I go, the God within Gregory isn't enough. He doesn't know better. I need to shift this. It's as if shit. Whoa! No shit. We are Tyler Durden and we are the narrator at the same time. We're in the car. No fucking shit. That's so dope. We're in the car, and the truth is that Tyler is driving and Tyler is God, and we look at God and we go, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You fucking crazy. Just the same way that the narrator looks at Tyler. But the truth is that Tyler knows what he's doing. When Tyler lets go of the wheel, he's saying, let God be. And when the narrator accepts it, everything goes exactly the way that it is meant to go. The only way it possibly can go in that scenario, in that situation, to those specific people. And they survive. Why? Because it was God's plan. That's it. See, it's a great analogy because it seems fucked up. It seems backwards to not do anything, to allow life to just kind of take its course. We're taught that you're supposed to be proactive and do and grind, and there is value in that, and I'm learning that more than anybody. That's the biggest thing I'm learning. But the truth is that if you are just willing enough to trust indefinitely, trust God, trust life, trust exactly where you are, trust who you are, trust how you think, trust what you like, trust what you don't, trust, surrender. Just watch the movie. Don't play the game, watch the movie. You'll see that the movie is playing perfectly. It does it itself. It's so magical. It does it itself. It's so fucking cool. And the thing is that it does it itself, but it does it without effort, without having to grind and twist and force. Life does not force. Water does not force. Nothing forces, and yet everything gets done. It's so beautiful. Isn't it so beautiful? I wrote that down on my board. I'll share this because this is actually the thing that I'm leaning my cell phone on whenever I have done any sort of podcast. This is leaning up against my wall. I realize it's backwards because I'm using the front-facing camera, so sorry, but yeah, this is all advice that I feel like is that divinely flowed through me. I only wrote this stuff when I desperately needed it, or when it was given to me as a gift by the universe. But this is like the things that I look back at and I read, and it really helps me get back into the proper perspective, because it's all the truth of the matter is that this life is almost too simple. It's simple. It's done. It's done. It's done. You're done. You're always being done. Like, there's no need to do. That only serves to stress and strain the circle that you have drawn around who you think you are. Okay. So I can't read this either. I'm looking for the thing that I was looking for. Aha. This right here. Can't really see. I wrote, nature is still, never stagnant, because it's the goddamn truth. Look at how still it is, and yet it grows. Look at how calm it is, and yet it goes. That's me, that's you, that's the universe, that's us, if you allow it to be. If you stop trying. If you trust that the crazy ass Tyler Durden knows what the hell he is doing, and you accept your fate with grace. Amor fati, yeah? Then the outcome that you suffer will be exactly the same. However, the manner in which that you got there will be light as a feather, as opposed to heavy as a sack of bricks. Again, it's already done. It's already done. We are just scrubbing through a video. That's all you're doing. You can't jump back or forward in time. We're just in it. We're living the video. We're living it. We're living it. So stop trying to control it. It's trying to show you some shit. It really is. Like, I love nature. That's why I love nature. When I was talking about seeing God from different perspectives and viewing him in different ways according to the situation that you're, being dealt, in order for you to be able to connect to God in the best, like in the quickest and most compatible way that you can. When I go hiking, I love nature. I love, because it's me. I see God everywhere. It's all God, all of it. All these beautiful trees and the luscious wind and the dirt beneath my feet and the thousands of years that it took to carve out these massive mountains that I'm hiking through. All of it. It is the perfect example of the moment, of God, of being, of existence, of ising. And it becomes so much easier to just flow. That's what everything else is doing. Just do what everything else is doing. Do you see any trees sweating? Do you see, oops, let's plug this in. Do you see any leaves in a hurry, or any water that is desperately trying to do anything? No. But does that mean none of it's alive? Does that mean that none of it's growing? None of it's happening? No. It's happening exactly how it's supposed to. And nature is a magnificent reminder to me of the way. The way that you're supposed to be, which is God, which is being, which is just ising. Just do. Don't question. Don't, just radically trust everything, because everything is God. Trust it. The good, the bad, the terrible things that happen to you, the great things that happen to you, the confusion that you have, all of it. All of it's on purpose. You're supposed to feel all of it. It's supposed to happen to you. It's a part of your story. You're in a small paragraph, probably a sentence of a paragraph of a chapter of a fucking section of a goddamn volume of a bajillion books, bro. So trying to figure anything out from your own vantage point, I still don't understand this analogy, but I feel like it fits here well. The inability to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. I don't get that, because I don't get a bootstrap. I don't get it. I don't get bootstraps. That don't make no. Does that literally mean like you can't do this? Is that what that means? Does that make sense? Because you can't actually stand up like that. You should say bootstrings, not bootstraps. That's fucking annoying. It's like that's like another one that I hate when people say have your cake and eat it too, because it doesn't make any sense. And I googled it, and the phrase should be eat your cake and keep it too. That's what that means, but it's not. It doesn't translate. So anyway, a little side tangent, because I was thinking about that yesterday, because that's something that bugs me when people say that, because I'm like, it doesn't make no fucking sense. Shit, and I lost it. I can't remember what I was talking about. Having cake, eating it too. I didn't like that some people said something else some other way. I can't remember. I can't remember. Can't remember that I was talking about flowing with God, though. Flowing with God, and being life, because it's the truth. That's why sometimes I really do. I know this is like anti-productive, so I try not to think in this way, because it's not useful, which is what I ultimately learned from nihilism. And what I think I heard that from I think I may have heard that from Dan Harmon, or Justin Roiland. in like an interview or something like that. And it was definitely while I was going through my whole nihilism phase, waking up, like, kind of bringing it back to the LSD is like, it was beautiful and it's magnificent. And look at how, if you've been listening to me, then you can tell that I don't want to say not crazy, but you can tell that I don't want to call myself smart. That sounds douchey. You can tell that I'm knowledgeable in some things, and that's because I learned a tremendous amount from the day that I woke up, which is, that dissolving my ego, having those walls, those 50-foot walls of a maze. Literally, it's like I watched them melt, and they melted by simplifying. Like, I just watched all of these complex structures that I had built. Just the best way I can put it, this is the way I do see it in my head. And I think one day I'd like to make a more extensive video on this. I know, right? More extensive. But with images and videos interlaid within the video that explain exactly and show exactly what the hell I be seeing in my goddamn head. Because I have a grab bag of examples from movies and stuff like that I'm like, it's like this, but I just want to show it on a video so I can just, again, get it out of my head and have it exist, If you have seen Interstellar, at the very end, if you haven't, 10-20 seconds, but it's been a bajillion years, so go watch the fucking movie. At the end, when he's within the Tesseract that was built by the aliens that are future humans, once he gets the message to his daughter, Matthew McConaughey, the Tesseract begins to fold into itself. And I just can't, if you haven't seen the movie, it says I can't really explain this, but imagine like you have like a box, and if you were able to unfold the box all the way on all sides, and then those would unfold into other boxes, and then infinitely just goes along, and then it all folds back into itself. So from all of these complicated, extreme structure that looks like you're essentially looking through a kaleidoscope is what it looks like, everything just starts to slowly fold within to itself. And as it folds, things get simpler. And as things get simpler, things are easy. It's easier to draw a line to correlate everything. My brain would, during that time, would be able to make a leap from something, from, I don't fucking know, from like a candle to a monkey in 1978. Like, no correlation whatsoever, but everything is one thing. Everything is a thing. It's all happening. And so as the Tesseract, that is the ego that I have created over the course of 20 years, begins to fold into itself, and it begins to simplify itself, I begin to realize that everything is just a happening. Like, my ego dissolves to the point where I am only existence. And so I can see it in my head, even though I don't know if it happened like this when I was tripping, but literally I'm watching walls melt all around me. That is who I am. And as it melts, I'm able to see infinitely across the plane, because it is now flat, it is now one, it is now a cohesive, all encompassing thing, to the point where I am it. It is me. There's no line, there's no division. I'm God. because God is me, because God is everything. It's really, really cool. And it's also extremely overwhelming. It's a tremendous amount of knowledge to behold. And I found out I've had 2 trips. I've talked about all this before, but I've had 2 trips. My first one was absolutely amazing. That's the one where I woke up. It's the one where I realized that I am everything that is. That it's just such a beautiful. I'm awake, baby. It's so cool. It's so cool. I just want to say that also means that I am everybody, and that hopefully to the people around me that know me, that are close, that might happen across this video, maybe that whole explanation will help you understand why I really believe that I am you, you are me, we are a thing. I think when I die, I will just be you, and when you die, you'll just be me, and we're just gonna recycle until I understand everything that there is to be understood. Tangent. But yeah, really cool, really overwhelming, truly. And if I hadn't been in a good set and setting, which are the two rules that you need to follow for any sort of psychedelic ceremony or trip that you're going to be taking, because if any of those 2 are off, if your mental state is off, or that physical setting that you're in is stressful or whatever, it's not going to go well. And so the first time it went really well because I was very, very what the hell's the word? Not sacred. I was very not holy, reverent. I don't know. There's a better word. But I was just very respectful of what I was doing. I understood the severity of what I was doing. I understand where I was about to go. And I took it very, very seriously. I asked my friend Jordy to drive me up the mountains, and so I wasn't doing anything. I was with a person who I trusted to be around, who I love very much, and he was driving me, so I didn't have to drive. I was able to just love the nature and just dissolve, essentially. And so beautiful. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, but we drove up American Fork Canyon, and it was just beautiful. And I was with God, I was with nature. It was the perfect setting. The second time I took it because damn, the first time was just so cool. That was just so fucking cool. So I took it on a whim because I had another tab, because I bought one, just another tab, and I had held on to it for a while. I remember that this one had cherries on it. It had red cherries, and it was a pattern of red cherries, and my square was cut out, and I think there was, one red cherry, and then there's some that got cut out on the sides and whatever, but on a little white tab. And I very much remember this tab. But I remember I took that tab, and I was not in a good mental place. I was not. That's the reason why I was taking the tab, was because I wanted to be high, because I wanted to be in a different mental state. I wanted to go back to that magic that I felt taking LSD and realizing that life is magical and not pointless and scary. But the other thing is, and I didn't even mean to go into this whole fucking thing, but during that trip, my first one, where I dissolved, and I woke up at the peak of my trip, I spoke with my captain. I spoke with my soul. And again, as things folded and kept folding and simplifying, and it happened for a couple hours, on the come up, until finally everything has been folded, and the last fold has happened, and the thing itself fucking folds into itself out of existence, and now you're just left with nothingness, and you realize, fuck, that's me. That's actually me. That's what I really am, is that nothing. I'm that nothing. That's crazy. But as that was happening, damn, what was I gonna say? As I was folding, as I was um, dissolving, folding into myself, I was able to speak with my soul, because at the peak, this whole time, I've been jotting notes. Sacrament. That's the word I think I was talking about. This is the notebook. This is my Bible. This is my actual little Bible, because this is what I wrote in during my trip inside that car, and during my peak when I was in the car alone, because Jordy went outside to go sit on a blanket, and I was like, nah, I need to stay in here. Because as the car got hotter, because it was a Nissan 350Z 2-seater, real small car, as the car got hotter, the voice in my head got more pronounced, to the point where I finally realized that I was not just talking, but I was talking to someone. The whole time I was talking to someone that was in my head, that I didn't realize that that's what was happening until like Jordy got out the car and it hit me. I was like, boom, holy shit, you're my soul. Are you my soul? You're my fucking soul. I'll read some of this just for funsies, because it gets deeper and deeper as the book progresses, because I get higher and higher to the point where I finally peak and I dissolve. I guess, is that it? I guess that's an ego death, right? Is that an ego death? Is that... the very first page, first line says, nature is the universe's answer to the question of how to live life. Nature is natural. Nature is organic. Nature is authentic, and nature is genuine. Barefoot all the time and blood circulation. I am inevitable because everything is inevitable. Flow. I am too real for this world. Flow. Will you ever stop smoking weed? I want a partner who can talk and listen. I do not know I do not know what is the right path between Dixie and staying up north. Is it truly my choice to make? Am I a psychopath? The Joker is the ultimate nihilist. I give love through gifts because I received gifts as love as a child. I feel love different because I desperately needed it that way as a kid. I am walking the line of madness. I am re-experiencing life from the most organic point of view without inspiration. LSD leaves me with a permanent cringe on my face. Hopeless romantics are just in desperate need of themselves. The cringe on my face is stuck between the choice to cry or puke. Strong emotions. Does it vibe with me? What makes a genius? Their ability to control all of the energy, the psycho within them. It is walking a fine line. Exercise induces trips. I don't know how to enjoy things. What vibes with my soul? My soul is curious. My soul is. Don't react. Experience. LSD makes the illusion that your feelings are permanent, endless. Geniuses walk the line of madness. You want to achieve limbo. My soul strives for stillness. Hip-hop speaks to my soul. Drugs can allow for the change of soul, of organic drive, if that is what you search for. My mind is in orbit. Damn, that's a perfect way to describe LSD. Your head is in orbit. It's in orbit. There's no, yeah. Sorry, I'm just gonna kind of keep reading, because I think you'll be able to see the slow progression of things kind of just folding within themselves. I cannot fear. By the way, so like I was saying, when I first started smoking, I was able to look at myself and really question who I am and all that kind of good stuff. I need to end this soon because the plug texted me. But yeah, so this is not the first notebook that I have. I have like 20, 30, that's a lie. Probably like 15, maybe 10, 15 of these. And they're not all this full. None of them are as important as this one by a long shot at all. This is like my soul on a thing. But by this point, I had been doing tons of soul searching, tons of questioning, and just so much about everything about myself and who I am and where I should be and all that kind of stuff. So when I started my trip, I was like, duh, it's what we do. I used to carry this around with a pen and just jot down questions that I would have about the universe, essentially. So that's what I was doing here, business as usual, essentially. But by this time, I think I'd been writing down things that I was thinking in the car while we were driving with Jordy, and I was melting. And I think by this point, Jordy parked. He said, "You want to go outside and lie on the grass?" I said no, because I realized that the hotter it was getting, the higher I was getting, and I wanted to keep going. And so I just stayed in the car and I just kept jotting and jotting. And by this point, my hand was just moving by itself. I had dissolved so much to the point where, again, I just was, wasing, being, I am ising, and my hand was just going. It was just going, and it wasn't taking breaks. It was just, and I was watching it ask questions. It's like I wasn't even. The best way I can put it is that I was so in touch with my immediate spontaneity. The thoughts that I would have were so immediate and so genuine, and so it's like there was no buffer between the thought that I had and the processing of what that thought means or how I feel about it. Greg was gone, and so I was just watching. So I was just watching Greg ask himself questions on a paper and answer them. So I cannot fear. I don't feel bound by time. Another little side note, that's what LSD does. I think that's what it is. I think what it did for me is it dissolved all that, but all of that existed within the concept of time, because I've never existed outside of it. I've never not been within time. It is a limitation by my human aspects. So I've never not been time, which means that everything that I have considered myself to be has been within the context of time, and now I'm not in it anymore. And so I think that is essentially what the happening, or what the everything is that dimension without time, because time is what keeps everything that we are doing linear. But the truth is that nothing that we are doing is linear. The truth is that everything that has happened and will happen is happening right now at the same exact time. But again, because of the limitations of our human capabilities, because we have senses, because we're trapped in a body that is literally cut off from that which is, we are not able to perceive the fact that, again, life is. That's what I mean. Life is. It just exists. It is a happening. Everything that has ever happened is happening right now, and it will continue to forever happen, forever, ever, 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 because there is no time. It's just the thing that is being. Me now, me in a second, me in 20 seconds, me in 20 years, me as a child. It's all happening right now. It's never not been happening at this exact moment. And that is what LSD taught me. That is what it showed me. I have it written on the side of the oh, it's backwards. It says LSD lets you see it. Psilocybin lets you feel it. It being the universe, it being God. That's the day that I saw God. That's the day I saw God. And it was fucking dope. Because I saw myself. I'm just gonna keep going with this, and you know what? Maybe I'll just finish with this. So I don't feel bound by time. Again, that is what I saw once all of the boundaries were dissolved and all the walls had folded, is that there, like, time is gone. That time was the thing that was holding together all of these definitions, and it's like it was the hard drive. The hard drive's not there no more, so now there's nothing, which means that there's infinity. I have a dangerous thought that had me. I have a danger. Again, I was high as hell writing all this. There will always be nothing. If a memory or thought comes back, it's karma. That's what I've been saying. Can a panic attack produce LSD visions or side effects? Tough guys are always scared of gay people and subconsciously grip their asses because they are scared of the taboo feeling of their butt. Yep. That was all before I realized that I was bisexual. They subconsciously are scared of that feeling. I'm laughing hard. Men are anally insecure. It's funny because it's true. That's so funny. Insecure. Drugs are... Then I crossed out LSD, I crossed out is, and I wrote a drive. By the way, this is just kind of a visual of what it kind of looks like. Psychedelics are solely meant to be experienced and not contained. Smart people do not control. Smart people experience. Humanity is a drug, and it is meant to be experienced, not controlled. And that's a fact. Humanity is a drug. You're supposed to get high, bro. Those who started controlling it were white people. Sorry, but truth is I'm racist towards white people, and not like racist, but white people are the people that have made me feel out of place, left out, and extremely judged my entire life. And so it's really hard not to feel kind of oppressed and angry and take my frustrations out. But it's just more of a, I don't know, it's just more of like a, it's strange even looking at the words white people as if like they're in a basket. Like they're a being. Like they're one person. White people. That's so strange. I think that's my plug telling me that they're here, but I don't know. IDK. Where did the need for domination in a white man come from as a singularity? white people don't have culture, they take culture. Again, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm being better. Because I think that truly all this is just, I don't even want to call it ignorance, even though it is what it is. But it's just, I just don't see the other side. That's all it is that I don't have an understanding of the other side. Life is an experience, not meant to be controlled. Anxiety is a spirit calling out to let go. That's facts. Men who are mad obsess over the need to control out of fear. Fear is the enemy of acceptance. Only I can perceive how real I am, and am I not the bottom line? It's facts. It's all facts, bro. What if I'm not the bottom line? What if there is meaning beyond me? My soul is driven by the hunger to know myself, to the very essence, to my fucking core. Who am I? Who am I? And that's what did it. That's what did it. I kind of want to read this one again. What if I'm not the bottom line? What if there is meaning beyond me? My soul is driven by the hunger to know myself, to the very essence, to my fucking core. Who am I? Who am I? I'm gonna pause this so I can respond to my plug, but I'm gonna keep reading. Ooh, okay, brief intermission. I'm gonna read it again just for me because I just did a couple things. What if I'm not the bottom line? What if there is meaning beyond me? My soul is driven by the hunger to know myself, to the very essence, to my fucking core. Who am I? Who am I? It's backwards. Does my passion and drive come from rage? LSD keeps everything in my system at a base level. Can you sweat the heat? Can you endure? And again, it's backwards, but take a look at the handwriting here. And take a look at how it kind of switches up here. I think I wrote that when Jordy asked me if I was coming outside. And I was like, and then he wrote, can you sweat the heat? Can you endure? Whew. I need to tape this. Some groceries on the ground. This is very important to me. Bring yourself to a submissive state and share. Man questions. Man does not experience. I am skilled to the ways of myself. The pages start getting a little more light with text. Answer is purpose. To question is to beg. How can Greg handle this? Does it matter? And this is around the time that I realized, fuck, I'm talking to somebody. My soul has been a poet. My soul has been mad. My soul has been good and it has been bad. How hard do I have to show you to just experience. Just experience. Oh my God, I wish I had this. There's no. Maybe if I flip the actual video itself so it's in. I'll try that. How hard do I have to show you to let go? It is the answer. Letting go is the answer. Let go and you will truly be. How hard do I have to show me I'm real? Ain't that crazy? Ah! I exist. I exist. Should I still experience? Let go. There is no purpose, which is why it's funny. I wonder who wrote that. There's no purpose, which is why it's funny. That was my captain. What am I? Who am I? This experience can be easy if you let it. Let go because you are not the only one here. I spelled it H-E-A-R. So yeah, by this time, I'm cooking, I'm peeking, I'm inside of the car. And Jordy's outside chilling, vibing. And I'm again, at this point, I am staring at my hand and it is going rapid fast, writing down thoughts, not as they are processed, but as they are immediately conceived, which is to say that it is 100% genuine. My immediate, there's no thinking, no processing, just what is. This experience can, and I'm telling, so while that's happening, my hand is going rapid fire. I was laughing my ass off because this was crazy. It was magical. It was literally magical. I was just watching my hand, and it was just going, and it was answering all the questions that I had in my soul, and it was just doing it by itself. It literally just gave it to me because it told me, stop trying, you're trying, stop trying. If you just stop trying, it'll happen. And I stopped trying. It fucking happened. It was so crazy. This experience can be easy if you let it. Let go because you're not the only one here. Can I trust you? Can you trust yourself? Are you my captain? I am inspiration. I haven't resonated with that in a long time. I am inspiration. That's what I meant by spontaneity. I am the essence of inspiration. I am what inspiration is. I am inspiration. Isn't that crazy? That's beautiful. Do you have a purpose? Let go and you will see. How do I let go? Sorry. Relinquish yourself. Can I trust to have it back? Can you trust yourself? This is what the pages start looking like. Start asking questions, I start getting answers. Am I powerful? No. Special? Yes. Why? To ask why is to question. Damn. Will I go mad? You are mad. That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You are before all else. I cannot think beyond you. And that's what I mean by things are folding in on itself. It's as if thoughts, I feel like kind of act as a, think of it as a movie film, and thoughts just happen and happen and happen and happen, and they don't all get processed, and so you end up with just a shit ton of unwatched film that just, and it has to get stored somewhere. Something has to happen with it, but it needs to be dealt with. It doesn't just sit around doing nothing. And so I feel like when you are meditating, it helps your mind catch up on the processing of all of the extremely backed up data. It's as if sitting down and doing nothing, literally, like, I mean, I'm doing something now, but if you were to literally to just sit, and that's what I call meditation, is just sitting, not doing, just being. Whatever happens, happens. Don't try to control your head. Don't try to make it go here. Don't try to focus on your breath. Just be, just do. And I feel like when you do that, and you're not physically creating more for your head that has to process, it's the equivalent of slamming the brakes on a freight train, because your mind gains momentum and it never fucking stops ever. And then when you sleep, it just keeps riding, but in ghost mode, bro. But yeah, I think that when you practice meditation in the way that I do, which is by just sitting down, sometimes I'll stare at myself in a mirror, just look at my eyes, try to see myself. But whenever you do that, I feel like it's the equivalent of slamming the brakes on your backed up thoughts and letting them finally catch up. And when I took LSD and I dissolved the time itself that held all of my memories, my thoughts, my coding of who I am, it's as if I went from being miles away from the origin of any thought that I have to immediately being one with the organic thought itself, because I don't even feel like anything's producing it. I think it's like it's a happening. It just happens. And when I took LSD, this is another image that I just see in my head that I see is like, it's like sticking your head into a wall, like being the wall. I went from perceiving the wall a bajillion miles away through a bunch of fogs and cloud and all this crap to being right here, to where the wall is my eyeballs. So anyway, that's what I mean by that line of "you are before all else. I cannot think beyond you," because I kept trying. Little Greg was trying to think, what's before this? What's before this feeling? What's before nothingness? What's before? And there isn't. There isn't. It's because it's because nothingness is not held within the bounds of time. What the fuck? So nothingness is transcendence. Is it transcendence or is it transcendent? Just transcendent, because it wouldn't be applicable towards everything. You are before all else. I cannot think beyond you. To ask is to doubt. Bruh, I'm telling you, and this is something I truly believe. I've been a poet, I've been a philosopher. It's me through generations. It's been but yeah, I be spitting bars. I'm really full of myself this episode, huh? What the fuck? It's okay. I never ever allow myself to give myself credit like this. To ask is to doubt. Will I see you again? No response. Can I trust you? Can you trust yourself? Why are you not decisive? Because I am. You are God. No, I am you. We are you. And he asked me, can you trust yourself to madness? All right. No. I do not know if you are bad or good. He replies, I am inspiration. I forgot about this. I love this. Said, I am inspiration. I asked him, should they know? You are them. Can I not recall? No response. Can I trust you? Can you trust your... You didn't even finish writing yourself. Can you trust your... Goes off the page. I'm probably just gonna make photocopies of this shit. Not like anybody will give a fuck, but at least I'll have them. Maybe if I do become famous, who the hell knows? Can I not recall? Can I trust you? Can you trust your... My hand is breaking here, man. Take the damn hint. It doesn't matter. It do better. I think I meant to. To do better, you must enjoy. Boom. Boom. He just gave it to me. He just gave me the key. That's what all of those fucking words all are saying. That's all that. Wow. That is really the fucking truth. That is what all of it is saying. That's what all I be saying is just, you gotta enjoy. To do better, you must enjoy. Wow. Wow. Doesn't matter. To do better, you must enjoy. To do better, you must let go. Endure no longer. Your words have double meanings. What are you saying to me? I am inspiration. You are drive? Yes. Oh my God, because you're God. Oh my God. I know he said I'm not God, but I think I've developed a new understanding of a better, more well-rounded, comprehensive understanding of what God is throughout the trips that I've had, and I'll continue to keep evolving that, but I think I mean it in a different sense than I did back then. Truth, because back then I meant God the person, and you told me no, because you are not God the person, you are God. You are God existence, you are God nature, you are God universe, you are God being, you are God ising. Crazy. Okay, this is fun. I don't think I've actually like full on read this thing in a year or two or whatever. every time I pull it out, I feel kind of geeky, and it's never ever as important to anybody else because, obviously. So I feel like I'm always sharing something like I really give a shit about, and they're always like, oh, and I'm like, all right, this ain't worth giving this magic away, bro. But I do like the fact that I'm recording it and putting it down, because now it'll get to live. Maybe it'll help somebody else. Who the hell knows? Ugh. We waiting on the plug. So just to kind of backtrack, it doesn't matter. To do better, you must enjoy. To do better, you must let go. Endure no longer. And I wrote, your words have double meanings. What are you saying to me? Because this was during the time that I'm nihilistic. Well, this was not during the time I was nihilistic. This was before the fall. But this was definitely the time where I was questioning life, and I didn't have a purpose. I had no reason for being, and yeah, thoughts of killing myself. Hell yeah. It's nothing I would ever do because I'm way too much of a fucking pussy. I just couldn't do it ever. I've never even attempted or tried or come close to it. But damn, I used to fantasize about it a lot. And it's not because I want to kill myself. It's because life can get extremely difficult. And when there is no point, there is no reason to be existing. Because to me, there's truly no point unless you pick one, unless you create one. That to me is the essence of an existentialist, is that you are picking your reason for being, and once that reason, or once life around that reason gets way too difficult and you go, damn, I'm really suffering hard as fuck for nothing. I'm in a game, I'm watching a movie, and I'm here suffering for nothing. To me, it just seems so much simpler to just fucking kill yourself. I don't think God's gonna hate me if I kill myself. I really don't. I don't think that God's gonna hate me. I don't think I'm going to hell. I don't think anything bad's gonna happen. I think when I'm done with this ride, God, whoever, me, whoever, the fucking 16-year-old that's operating the fucking arcade game, whoever is just gonna ask me if I had fun. They're gonna ask me if I enjoyed it. They're gonna ask me if I feel like it was worth it, if I feel like I truly did it the way that I wanted to. And those are the feelings that I'll live with. That's why I feel like I'm the person that's gonna end up judging myself in the end, because in the end, I will be the person who has gone through everything that I have gone through. I truly know. I understand the same way that God understands. Which is why I think that I am God. I am that God. At the end of the day, I will be left alone with the way that I feel about myself. That's it. Your drive? Yes. Let me ponder. I wrote, do you love me? Do I love me? So it's all me then. So it's me. It's all me then. But I'm not beyond myself. Not yet. I love you. I love you too, bro. Seek purpose of yourself. And that's when he stopped talking with me. It's all me. It's all me then. But I'm not beyond myself. Not yet. Which is crazy because like an onion, I have continued to grow layers that put me beyond where I have been and where I am. Isn't that crazy? What I mean to say is that I am beyond myself. and I continue to be as long as I grow, which is what I, God, am doing through the experience of being. Isn't that crazy? That's why I am everyone. That's so crazy. It's all me. It's all me. But I'm not beyond myself. Not yet. I love you. I love you too, comma, bro. Seek purpose of yourself. And he drew his eyes. Now, I remember that I did keep trying to talk to him and write, but take a look, and it's crazy. So this is the way that it looked when we were going back and forth, when my hand was going all by itself. Once this page was done, and essentially all the questions that I had have been answered, and there was no purpose for me to be in touch with my soul anymore, and he told me what I needed to know, which was to enjoy and to seek purpose of myself, which he's telling me literally, find purpose within you. Find purpose within you. You're gonna have to find it. It goes from that to that, and you're like, I can't tell a difference. It's scratchier. Wrote, I am your captain. IKU. That's like, it's like, and then I came down. It's like me trying, and then I came down. And then I just started making notes. I reached inspiration. Isn't that crazy? Yo, I only had to take drugs and fucking kill myself. To be inspired. Oh, that's hilarious. And what my inspiration tell me? Find inspiration in yourself. You fucking motherfucker. But it was magical. So it was magical. I reached inspiration. Milestone. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of inspiration. Inspiration, purpose, drive, meaning. One day I will tell. If I protect myself, it is inspirational. From what? You get me. Kalea sees me. I am the answer. I am not me. I found inspiration. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am understanding. I am the answer because I am purpose. That's me. Okay, so those last. So we come down. Notes kind of to myself, and then this is me sort of somewhat trying to do it on my own. It's Greg coming back to trying to get back to where he just was. Then, you know, I kind of just give it up. I am inspiration. I am it. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am understanding. That's the last page. I am not me. I found inspiration. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am purpose. I am understanding. It's the last page. I am the answer because I am purpose. That's beautiful. That gives me all the power. It really does. It gives me all the power to be as great or as terrible as I want to. And that's why I say that God has already chosen, because I think that I have lived this existence already. Greg has been done by Greg probably a bajillion, quadrillion motherfucking times. So the only thing that there's left to do is to just do the same thing I've been doing for eternity and be. And every iteration that I reincarnate into, whether it be different versions of me or other people, tries their hardest to have their little 15 minutes in the spotlight. And you can't blame them because they're human, and the human is the vessel that essentially, I mean, really does get used. It gets used and it dies out, and it wants to be eternal. It wants to be the reason. It wants to be the answer. It wants to be purpose. It wants to be important. And it's hard for the circle that we have created, that we call ourselves, to accept that there is more beyond what we know and who we think we are, which is crazy. The last line I wrote is, I am the answer because I am purpose. And that is the takeaway that I got from this trip. Under that, I wrote, that's me, because I think I snapped back. And I looked back and I was like, Jesus, fuck, that's me? How? How is that me? I met love. I met myself. July 20th, 2019. It's the day I woke up. I love you with all of my heart, and I want you to know that you are worth it. You are worth it. You deserve everything that you have. I applaud you for surrendering and for giving praise to God, for making yourself small enough to allow Him to fill your life, because it is the blessing that God always is and forever will be, but we allow ourselves to see it when we view life through gratitude and with a meek and open, soft heart. So I encourage you to keep doing that. Keep growing. I love you. You're 25, bro. You're fucking 25. Congratulations. Happy birthday. I love you. You're a quarter of the way done. The way I view it, it's a 25. 0 to 25 is childhood, right? And then now we're an adult. 25 to 50, and then 50 to 70, we're gonna be an old person. 75, we're gonna be an old person, and everything that comes after 75 is going to be sprinkles. It is going to be extras. It is going to be just bonus points, bonus levels is the way that I view it. And that, that will go for as long as God wants me to have bonus levels. So it's exciting, and it's scary, and it's awesome, and it's horrifying. It's life. I love you.